Can you see the video, Sister Layla? Can you see us?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. يلا إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على محمد. Brother and sister, Brother Raymond Muhammad here in Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, and to listen the most important topic. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creating some certain people to carry the Islam, and regardless what kind color or nationality, the Islam came to domain the whole entire world. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And we have in this kind of series, Brother Raymond Muhammad, inshallah, speak about the scholar every time, one of the scholars, how this scholar started, and also the nationality of that person, and at the same time he's a Muslim. Al-Fadlillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Gonna start now, Brother Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalam, rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone, my brothers and sisters out there. We're going to do this a little bit different from what we did last week. I want to go forward with a new approach. Sister Laila, if everyone is able to make a comment, if you can relate it back to me, please, because I'm unable to see the comment. What we have started is that we have found some old blueprints in, let's say, our grandfather's attic. And as we spoke about the story last week, that we're building, it's a blueprint of a magnificent home or a house. And what we're doing now, we are going to be putting these blueprints together to build this house. So going forward, what we're going to be speaking about, I'm going to ask you the following week, what do you have gathered or what do you have learned from what we spoke about the previous week? So what I want to take about 2 or 3 minutes is for you to make a comment in whatever platform you're listening to. What was the common blueprint or the the blueprint that Al-Khwarizmi laid down for us? If you can make the comment, what's the blueprint that combines that all the devices, all the electronic devices that we experience or that we use, what was the commonality between all of them? Sister Laila, you can let me know what they type, please, if you don't mind. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Nobody's typing right now.
Well, I mean,
she said algorithm.
Algorithm, okay. Anyone else? All right, alhamdulillah, I'll take that one. That's exactly what it is. The algorithm is the instructions that was written that all the devices, electronic devices, have inside of it that operates. That's the nucleus of it. That's what operates the equipment. So good. So those are the instructions that was left to build the walls. Now, what we're going to talk about this week, we're going to address another blueprint that's going to be part of this house. And there's going to be a lot of you're going to hear me mention a lot about fathers, father of this, father of that. So Al-Khwarizmi, he was considered to be the father of algebra. Okay, and also he was the one that came out with the algorithm. Now, in your home, if you experience cameras, you have cameras, obviously. You have phones, laptops, tablets, eyeglasses, magnifiers, TV projectors, headphones, light bulbs, mirrors, lens. If you have these and you experience these, we have the blueprint that was left by Ibn Al-Haytham. Now, who was he? His name was fully Abu Ali al-Hasan ibn al-Haytham, or his Latinized name is Al-Hazan. He was born in 1965 until 1040, born in Basra, Iraq. And he obviously was considered a father of optics. So in his time, this is one of the inventions, or this is one of the blueprints that did not come directly from him. What he did was he took the knowledge that was translated from the Greeks and he expanded upon it. Okay, so like I mentioned before, not all of the breakthroughs or the inventions came from the Muslims. What they have done was they translated the books from the ancient civilization and they expanded upon those knowledge and make it workable knowledge. Also, they provide the platform. So in his time, the Greek had a theory that state the eyes emits a ray, okay, a ray of light, and it reflects back into our eyes. That was the Greek theory. Ibn Al-Haytham was the first to explain that vision occurs when light bounces on an object and then it reflects back to one's eye. He was the first to conduct experiment to confirm a theory. So this was his knowledge that if you have a theory and it's not confirmed, then it's not a workable theory. Okay, if you come up with a theory, then you must have some sort of evidence to prove what you're saying. So he was the first one to conduct experiment to confirm a theory. Now, he also worked with different types of lens or different types of glass. He came up with refraction and reflections. He made a significant contribution to optics, numbers theory, geometry, astronomy, natural psychology. Now, on the moon, there is a lunar impact crater on the moon named after him because he made a very significant contribution to astronomy. His work on optics is credited with contributing a new emphasis on experiment. So this is what happens. He is the first one to actually came out with the concept of having a theory and conducting a live experiment to confirm the theory. So what you would call modern day scientists that they come up with a theory of whatever they're working on, and they're formalizing scientific method to prove that theory. And one of the things that the story how he got to this point, he was the top of his knowledge at that time in Iraq. So the Emir in Egypt summons him to come and give advice on how to slow down the Nile River. However, when he got there and he saw the river, then he said to himself that if the Egyptians couldn't figure this out, there's no way he could have done it. So he couldn't go back to the Emir and say to him that I can't figure it out. So he had to come up with some idea how to not be in that position. And he played insane, and they locked him away in a room. While he was locked away in this room, lights was entering through the windows. But what he noticed was the images were obscured. They were upside down. And then, being that he spent most of his time studying the Greeks' theory of seeing, that they say that a ray of light emits from the eye, and it reflects back to your eye. He was actually locked away in a dark room, and it was impossible for him for a rays of light to leave his eyes and go outside and come back in. So what his theory was, that light must have traveled in a straight line. And being that it travels in a straight line, this was a very, very huge breakthrough, okay? Because there's extensive work that was done on this. Now, what he have done was he noticed that the images were obscured. And he went out after he was released. He went out to prove this theory. So let's say, for example, this might have been. Let's say, for example, this image that you're looking at here is an example of an pinhole camera, as they say, but an obscure camera. If you notice, there is a dark room, and there's a pinhole on one of the wall, and on the opposite side of the wall, the images of the mountains and the trees and the river is reflecting upside down on the back on the opposite side of the hole. This is exactly how our eyes sees, but not how we see, but how the eyes observe the images coming from the outside. For example, this might have been something like an example of an experiment that he might have done to show, the community how light travels or how we see. Okay, so he sought to discover vision occurs when light goes from the eye to object or from object to the eye, and he designed an experiment to test it. So this is how exactly how we see. The light hits an object, and when we look at that object, it reflects back into our eyes. Okay, now it depends on the condition that we are in. If we're outside, our pupil reduces, so it reduces the amount of light that enters the eye. If we're in a dark room, the pupil expands to allow more light to enter into the eyes. Now, how does the image on the retina form? On the back of our eyes, which is the retina, the image is upside down. Now, imagine, or can you imagine that if we were missing the link from the eyes to the brain, which reinterprets that image to be right side up, if that was taken away from us and we were not able to see the right side up image, we will be walking around in an upside down world. This is how important the eyesight is and what a blessing that is. So he would go about and he would test his theory and he would show the community. And this is what I want to do. I want to change it up a little bit how we're doing this class. I don't want to be sitting here and talking all the time because, we lose our attention after 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, we lose our attention. So what I want to do is I want to get everybody in a mode where they can share their thoughts about this blueprint, about how the eye sees. I want to hear some comment about what do you think about this. Sister Lila, can we get some feedback from the class?
Assalamu alaikum, brother. When you were talking about this, it made me think whenever I get my eye exam, they have me look into it's like a black box, and it's the things are sometimes they're upside down and then sometimes I see a triangle. I don't know what that means too, but is that something that he had discovered? I mean, is that why some of the tools we use now is because of his discovery on that, to do with that, the eyes?
Well, when I had recently had an eye exam, and to bring a light directly into right up to the eye to take an image of what's inside, we will not be able to unless you have that special tool, right? So from this breakthrough of knowing how light travels, that light travels in a straight line, those equipments would have come out from that discovery. Not only with that, also our glasses that we wear. I will go through a slide with that. So if you can take out of this class that he was the one that discovered that light travels in a straight line, then you have grasped the concept of this blueprint. This is actually the part of the house that we're building. He built that window that we can see, that vision. Okay, so here are some of the things that he worked with, and we have experienced this in our time: refraction and reflection. The simple camera came out of that knowledge. Now that you know that light travels in a straight line, cameras was designed. I mean, we don't have these anymore, or I don't know if we use film cameras anymore, but this is how they would have designed the camera with that concept, knowing that light travels in a straight line. Also, you can break the prism up of the light and get all the colors. Now, what you were talking about, sister, this is what we were talking about here. The optics, the eyeglasses, corrective lens. See, I'm wearing a glass because I'm not able to see close distance, so I'm considered a far-sighted person. And if you're able to see, if you're not able to see far away, then you're considered to be a close-sighted person. Okay. So as if you notice that there's two different types of lens that they have worked with. You're either working with a convex lens or a concave lens. The lens that we currently have in our eyes is a concave lens. Okay. And that is that's also a very important aspect, that the eyes is so complex, that the way it was designed, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, give us this blessing, is truly is a blessing, So they will work at different shapes of lens to correct your vision. Now, December 25th, 2021 was a very historic day in the United States. Actually, I can relate to it. I was actually in bed with COVID, so I had nowhere to go. And on that specific day, NASA was launching their most expensive and advanced telescope into orbit. And that telescope is called James Webb Telescope. It's a very advanced telescope. And the concept of this telescope is, if you see that those gold mirrors, being that they know that light travels in a straight line, what this is actually going to be doing, it was launched with those mirrors facing the universe, facing the outer part, away from Earth. And the concept of this is to attract or to let the universe reflect on the mirrors, and then it reflects it back to another mirror where the point is. So where the cone is, the universe reflects on that mirror, and it bounces off and it reflects back to that cone. And that cone reflects it back to another instrument, which is within the telescope. This is a very advanced telescope. So you see, it captures the light and images from distant galaxy and planets, and reflects it back to a smaller mirror and then into a scientific instrument. Now, Ibn Al-Haytham concept was used, how light travels in a straight line. And you can see the phenomenal. I mean, you can go into NASA's website or YouTube, and you can log on to James Webb's telescope, and you can get the live image as they're coming through. So that you can do on a daily basis. They have new images, and every day they are capturing new stars that is coming into our galaxy. And what they have mentioned was, whenever they see those stars coming into the galaxy, those stars had probably left their galaxy a million years ago, and the light is now traveling and getting to our galaxy. So by the time we saw that star, that star might have already been a dead star, but now the light is reaching our galaxy. And what they have also noticed, that with the James Webb telescope, is capturing that as stars are coming in, is getting further and further away. We will never be able to reach those stars, because the universe is always on an expansion, And this was already mentioned in the Quran, that is continually expanding. We will never get to the end of it.
Okay, brother, we have a question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, what year was it when he invented the lens so we can see?
Well, these lenses were not invented during his time. These were inventions that came out after his time. So they have come up with this corrective lens, not during this time. They did play around with different type of lens, but glasses actually, I'd say maybe last 200 years, let's say. But the knowledge has always been there. Now that you know that light travels in a straight line, you can always refract it or bend it, to suit your need. So if you see like the far-sighted person, when he looked at the image at a far close up, the images are formed behind his retina, so it's blurred. You're not able to see it. So to correct his vision, they give him a concave lens. And a nearsighted person, the images form in front of the retina. So to correct his vision, they give that person a concave lens. And that's the kind of lens that we have currently in our eyes. But if we're not able to see properly, then we will have to correct every one of these lenses. Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. The nearsighted person, is it because their eye itself is not completely round? It's like not shaped correctly, maybe like an egg, that causes the nearsightedness?
Well, our eyes, if what we see in the front of the two lids of our eyelids, behind that is a much bigger object in the back there. The eyes are very big in the back. I'm not qualified to say whether the eyes are elongated or if it's round. All I'm bringing to you is the knowledge that how our eyes sees, how the images are formed. Now, behind the retina is optic nerves, and those optic nerves sends the message to the brain, and that part of the brain reinterprets the image to be right side up and send it back to our eyes so we can say, okay, now the image is right side up. Okay, but originally or initially, the images are upside down, obscured. Any other questions? Now, after the knowledge of light travels in a straight line, what he have done was, like I said, he did a lot of experiment to show the theory that he came out with. And what I want to do is I'm going to leave this instruction up for a little while. If you can get a pen and paper, I want you now to be part of this, okay? Because I don't want to be the one to talk about it. I want you to experience this. I want you to take your kids and recreate what he had done in his time, and be part of what Allah called it to be. To observe, ponder upon something, observe it, go into it, and take the knowledge out of it and benefit yourself. Okay, so you're going to be creating this camera obscura at your home with your children. I've done it with my children, and every day when we came home, the first thing we did was we ran to the room, and we looked at different objects were coming up, and we were seeing different things, but everything that we were looking at was obscured, was upside down. We were actually standing, like you can say, we're actually standing in our eyes. And that's how we were seeing the images. Like some days we came, obviously we saw the roof was upside down, the colors of the roof. We saw the trees was upside down. The one that we came in, we saw cars moving, that was upside down. Another that we came in, the floor of the room was bright. And then I really saw shadows moving. And I said, wow, that's the skies. Those are the clouds moving. So we were experiencing different objects every day that we were coming into the room. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a room in your home. Pick a room with one window or two windows that faces a bright outdoor scene, or wherever the sun is going to be casting the shadow. Ideally with trees, cars, or buildings. Then you're gonna darken that room. You're gonna use foil wrap. You're gonna block all the pane of the windows. Block it out completely. Okay. Cover all light sources. So under the doors, put a towel or something like that. Block it out, and darken the room as much as you can. Then you're gonna create a projection hole. So take a pin or maybe a pencil, and just poke a hole on one of the pane of the windows. Okay. The smaller the hole, the sharper the image, but dimmer the image. Larger the hole, brighter the image is going to be, but blurrier. So you can start with a smaller hole, and then you can build from there and make it a little bit larger. Number 4, position like a white cloth or a science board or something like that. That's white on the opposite end of that wall. Okay. Number 5, fine tune it. Adjust the distance between the hole and the screen. So you can move it forward or backward, depends on how the images are coming out of it on it. And then observe the projection. So what you have to do, being that the room is going to be very dark, the pupil of the eye of your eyes needs time to open, so a light can enter into the eyes. Okay, so your eyes need to be adjusted to that. I mean, you've seen this in the morning when you wake up. You've been sleeping all night and it's dark. Then when you wake up in the morning, you turn the light on in the room. You're not able to see right away. You have to, squint your eyes until the pupil is able to adjust to the light. Yeah. So give your time. Let the eyes adjust to the dark, so you can see the images on the back. And I guarantee you that this will be a phenomenal feelings when you do that, because this is what he might have felt when he did that, to show the experiment to the community and to the people. Yeah, so take your time and write this down and do it as a project with your kids. Make them be part of what you're doing, and it will make you feel honored and they feel honored, by doing this. And now that we know that everything that we're experiencing every day, our eyeglasses, TV, projectors, headphone, light bulbs, the mirror, the lens, the camera, have that feelings that this is an honor that was given to you. Okay, we don't want this honor with arrogance, but let you feel honor about it, that Ibn Al-Haytham left this, and he left this for what? Not for one person to benefit from it. You see, the concept of our deen is that when we're doing something, or we're going to bring something forward to the masses at large, let it be something that's going to be beneficial to everyone. Don't bring something out that's going to destroy. Okay, that's going to destroy. Bring something that's going to be beneficial to the people. Now we can see from the previous scholar that we spoke about, Al-Khwarizmi, what he have left behind is what we're benefiting now. You and I were given this opportunity to gather here by the permission of God, force of Allah. And number 2, we are able to communicate from whichever part of the world we are in by having that blueprint embedded in this equipment. And now when you're going to be using these equipment, you're going to have a different sense of pride or a different sense of perspective, that I'm using something that was left over 1,000 years ago. And this is so beneficial to us. And look where we are with these types of knowledge. And there's a lot more to talk about. But I wanted to bring this out first because I wanted you guys to work with your kids and spend the time to recreate this camera obscura in your home so you can experience this. So inshallah, I've talked. I want you to give me feedback and I want you to ask questions, inshallah. I'll try my best to answer. I'm not sure if any one of my my children is on Zoom or anything, if they can get on and they can give. When we did that experiment at our home.
Yes, I like the idea to get like the kids involved with the projects. I really like this the camera obscure like project. I think that would be really fun to try.
MashaAllah. MashaAllah, Brother Muhammad Durgana, this was beautiful, amazing. Everybody here, I had to turn off I had to switch to the, so I could talk. Next time I'll probably try to see if I can get the computer in my bedroom going so I can go in there, because if I talk here, it's going to be an echo. But MashaAllah, the sisters here on the Zoom, I have another Zoom connected to, but you guys can't see because it's another Zoom room and you can't join but one Zoom. I have the Zoom room in Australia. in the Zoom room that's connected in South Africa, and they are just going wild over this program. And they are just saying it's amazing, amazing, amazing. And they're saying, subhanAllah, one of the sisters here is saying that she's going to try this with her kids right after this program is over. One of the brothers here says he remembers this years ago when you were here in Australia or something. Were you in Australia before or something?
Unfortunately, I never made it to Australia. I just made it to Sydney. I went to Sydney, but not out the airport. I was in the airport.
Okay, something about us. Or are you talking about Jamali?
Yeah, probably he did.
He's talking. He's talking about me and Jamal. When we streamed. You're new. Okay, yeah. Okay, he's talking about the era. That was years ago, brother, when I streamed with Jamali. Jamali was young back then. He's talking about when Jamali came to Australia and talk. Okay, yeah, that's a different topic. Okay, all right, stick with this one, brother. Yeah, we remember that when Jamali streamed. Yeah, and he talked about Jamali's thing about the strangers. He's talking about Jamali's thing on the strangers. Okay, mashallah. Yes, alhamdulillah. The sisters here are saying yes, they enjoyed this. Yes, this is great. The kids need to learn about this, about Ibn Al-Haytham. Yes. They want to know, are you going to talk about Al-Jawzi? Al-Jawzi? Al-Jayzi? I can't understand.
I'm sorry. Al-Jazari, yes. Those are going to be different. I don't want to talk about all of it on one sitting, because I want you guys to observe what we're talking about and don't get too much overwhelmed.
Okay.
But yes, so that's going to be one of the breakthroughs that we're going to be talking about. Al-Jazari, yes.
Okay. They're saying good. She says she'll be coming to all of these classes. It's worth them staying awake for. Okay, different time zone. Okay, mashallah, this is her first time attending, so they enjoyed it. Okay, good job. That's Australia. South Africa Zoom room. They're enjoying this too, and they're saying, mashallah, the brother's English is great. Interesting. Yes, they'll be here all the time. Good feedback from them too. Mashallah, they're going to do the camera obscura as well. Too bad they can't connect their Zoom room to ours to participate on the mic. Yes, too bad we can't do that. But mashallah, I can read your stuff here. They enjoyed it too. So good feedback. And by the way, guys, when I put the shorts out, because I will make shorts of this, please share them. Share his shorts so we can get more and more people, to participate, as they need to learn our history of our ummah. Mashallah. Yes, any other comments from the people in my Zoom room? Go ahead. The sister can read my comment for him. Okay, here's some.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on, let me get
his son.
Yeah, my brother from him, I can share yours. Since you're on YouTube, not only can I read it, but I can share it. He said, it was truly something amazing and a great experience for us. I greatly encourage all parents to try this with their kids. This is from YouTube. Mashallah. This is one of the parents here on YouTube. Mashallah. So that means we're getting the people all over the world with this. Yes, and please spread the word. He's here every Friday, inshallah, at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, mashallah. Yeah, we need to get this brother out there and get this. This is for the family. Oh, that's Brother Muhammad's son. Oh, okay. That was your son, brother. Okay, mashallah. Okay.
Yeah, he was a very integral part of it with my two daughters. Because they were very amazed in what they were seeing every day. He would rush home from school, run into the room, and turn off the lights, and then we give herself time to see what new we're going to be looking at, on the wall. Eyesights are very important. There is a story. We still have about a few minutes more before we turn off. The eyesight was so important that a man once went for his for his judgment, let's say, right, to Allah. And he have worshipped Allah for 500 years. And when he went to Allah, he said to Allah, I have worshipped you for 500 years. That has to count for something. So meaning, what he's meaning that my 500 years of worship should be enough to carry me out to Jannah. And Allah called on the angel to bring the scale. And they brought the scale to him. I brought the scale. And he told the angels, put his 500 years of worship on one side. And they did that. And he said, take the ni'mah or the blessings of eyesight and put it on the other side of the scale. And it outweighed his 500 years of worship. That's what eyesight is. So if you're blessed, immediately Allah said, throw him into Jahannam. And he made tawbah and he asked Allah for forgiveness. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave him by his mercy and they put him into Jannah. So that's to show that the eyesight is such a blessing from Allah that if you are blessed with that, you know, it's truly an amazing.
Yes.
But there's other ways of seeing what the world is. You know, it doesn't have to only come from the eye seeing. There are other ways to experience the beauty and what Allah has created and left for us. So all of this that we're experiencing in our life is all within the algorithm, like we talked about, the step-by-step version of how we are discovering that Allah has placed when He said "Kun fayakun." It was immediate with Him. There's nothing to correspond with that. His "Kun fayakun" is immediate, and everything existed. But now we are placed in this world, and we are going through that journey that He have left for us. Every one of us have a different journey. Every one of us have a different meetup point and exit point. And when we come to these things, when we're experiencing these things, you know, we have to give all our praise to Allah that He have allowed us to experience this in our life. And like I tell you, we are here because we're here for a purpose. Number one is to worship Allah, but however, there has to be a different purpose in our life. And that's where you have to find that purpose in your life. What you can do to help someone or help the humanity at large. Okay? So we all were given different blessings, whichever way, education, wealth, whatever you're blessed with, but use that blessing in a positive aspect. Don't bring something that's going to destroy this world. As we have known that there are many discoveries afterwards that they have put this knowledge or any one of the knowledge that was left from the Islamic Golden Age, and people there are different errors that they came up with, destroyed, invented things that destroyed our world. Look at the atomic bomb. You know, from a simple equation, someone took it and expanded upon that equation, came up with something destructive. Now that person, before that person passed away, he regretted and he made a statement, what will be my accountability when I meet him? What accountability are you going to give if you brought something that destroyed something that was perfectly came to existence by the one creator? So my advice to you and I, that whatever we are learning, when we're going through these our knowledge experiences, and we're going to come up with something, young people, if you're coming, you're going to be the next generation that's going to carry this out. We're already stepping into the other side. Okay, so my reason why I'm doing most of these classes, Sister Laila, and to the rest of the community, is I want the youths to be part of this. I want them to take control of their life, and because they're going to be coming out with new stuff. We might not be able to see all of this going forward. Okay, we're experiencing this hype right now because this knowledge allowed us to be in this era, and with the permission from Allah. But they're going to be coming out with new stuff, and I want them to be proud of this. You know, be proud of it. Don't let anyone say that. You know, they had many adjectives for us, you know, I experienced 9/11. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys experienced 9/11, and I was in New York at that time. And adjectives that came out to describe who we were. And they call us ragheads, and they call us camel jockeys, and these kind of names. And these things stuck with us, you know. But what I want to say to you is that these people that they were calling that name, including us, we're not bad people. We are here to make life better. And what we're experiencing here, all of this is from the blessings from Allah, number one, and the book that came to them, that pushed them towards this side of the knowledge. So inshallah, you know, I pray to Allah that He make it easy for us, and He allowed us to gather again. You know, I was amazed. Friday is already here. It was just the other day we were talking about one subject, and then all of a sudden the time flew by so fast, and we are here already. And I can't wait for next week, inshallah, for him to gather us together to talk about another blueprint that's going to be another part of the house that we're building. You know, we're in the journey of building a house right now. So we're coming up with all these blueprints, and we're finding them, and we're putting them together, inshallah.
Yes. Okay, well, may Allah bless you for joining us and sharing your knowledge and this information with the Muslims around the world. And may this be barakah for you and for us all. Ameen. Ameen. Okay, guys, we're going to log out for tonight. I want you guys to think about this. And next week, he's going to give us a quiz. He's going to start us off with a quiz. So y'all think about this. So next week when he comes in and asks, you know, what contributions did Al-Haytham make? We can get on that mic and give him some answers, inshallah. So think about this. And also he's going to ask, you know, what did you come up with your camera obscura? You okay? Yes. So let's try this at home with our families. This will bring us together. A family that prays together and learns together is a family that stays together and earns together. So try that at home. All right. May Allah bless you. You can close us out, inshallah. We'll be back, guys, inshallah, with Brother Yusef, inshallah, at 8 o'clock with this week's news in review. And don't forget to ask Sister Layla live show at 9:30. And by the way, we got a special topic: love and mercy. What's the difference? Okay, so we'll be back, inshallah.